Mr. Enyart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Fraser, it's so good to see you again. I think the first time I met you, I was still wearing Army BDUs and in your command headquarters at Scott Air Force Base. And, you know, General, I don't think I've ever had a chance to tell you that as a very young airman, I think I was an E3 at the time, I got to fly in a T-39 with your predecessor, General Jack Catton, at the controls. And it was a great thrill. Of course, when we first met, I had two of my three wings in the Illinois National Guard belonged to you, the 130s up at Peoria and the KC-135s right there at Scott. So I'm familiar with many of the challenges that you have. And I was particularly pleased to hear in your earlier testimony, and I don't want to misstate anything, but I think you said that because of having TRANSCOM and AMC and the Army Surface Materiel Distribution Command all located at Scott, you were able to wring some efficiencies out of those commands and use some of the resources together in order to provide a better bargain for the American taxpayer. Have I got that right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, super. I'm so glad to hear that as a taxpayer and as a member of Congress. Can you tell me what specific impacts do you expect to see as we have ongoing headquarters reductions? What impact will that have on TRANSCOM? And do you believe you've got further efficiencies that you'll be able to bring about at Scott as a result of having all of those commands co-located there?
Sir, we're always looking to be more efficient and effective, and so one of the things is that as we have set up our processes and our procedures at the headquarters there through a very deliberate process is to bring others in who have good ideas. One of the things that we have encouraged the young folks is to speak up, and if they've got a good idea, then let's get it on the table. They're very innovative. They're not shy about letting us know where some other efficiencies can be had, and so we continue to reach out to the workforce. They've identified a couple of areas that we think that we can find some other efficiencies. One of the areas, and we're working this through the Joint Staff and through the Department of Defense right now, is do we maintain the Joint Scheduling Shop, JOSAC, as we move forward in the future. So all the aircraft are not in there. Is it the right thing to do to have a separate scheduling shop that does that? Or do you give that back to the services under the Service Secretary withholds and things of that nature? And so that is a potential efficiency out there. So that's just one other example of an area that we're taking a look at.
General Fraser, in light of the drawdown in Afghanistan, how is TRANSCOM looking to maintain the readiness of both its private partners and its organic partners? And I was certainly very glad to hear that you've incorporated the private sector rep into your headquarters based on the FEMA model. That's certainly worked very good, very well for FEMA. But how do you intend to do that going forward?
Well, sir, we've continued to engage our commercial partners, not only across the executive working groups, but also through the National Defense Transportation Association. They have a number of different committees of which we have individuals that sit on their various committees, whether it's rail, road, maritime, or aviation. And so we have a very open and candid dialogue. We also participate in their board of director meetings once a quarter. There's also a transportation advisory board that occurs once a year that I attend. As well as other meetings throughout the year. So we're going to continue to reach out to industry, continue to bring them in. This last year, we also held a large meeting in St. Louis and brought in a lot of industry reps. We had over 600 that participated in this, which was very informative to them, to let them know where things are going in the future, what the future looks like. It's very difficult for them to build business plans when we can't give them assurances. And so that is one of the things that is very challenging right now, especially with sequestration and the inability to predict the future and what it's going to look like as far as any types of movements that are going to be out there. And so working with industry, we've got to be as open, be as candid as we can, while yet at the same time having this other initiative to bring more business into the DTS.
Thank you, General. Admiral, I didn't mean to ignore you. I had the great soldiers of the 20th SF Group under my command also, but I apologize. I'm now out of time, so I yield back.